do I change the verticality? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Not really, but I guess. Great, now I got all this crap figured out. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Yoink. Hopefully the sound quality is good too. Okay. Give me 1 second, gotta make sure everything else is running perfectly well. Actually, I'm just gonna step off the side. Hello. Wanna see if I can get a picture or something? Alright, we're good. Shit, there we are. Alright. So now it's all good. So, this is completely new. First of all, first ever. Okay, I'm not gonna say first ever. I did one last. I want to say last year. Clearly, it just wasn't the best, obviously. But yeah, as you can see, I'm clearly doing something different now, and already we have some people trickling in. Nice to see you guys. Hope you guys are having a great day or great night, depending on where you guys are. And shout out to a few people. Hey, Alex, Mr. JAD or Jad, famous Alex. Actually, no, that's 2 different Alexes. Let's go. We got Corbin. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, Alex. Welcome, guys. As you guys can see, we are starting the first episode of. It's labeled as Matt's Cafe because that's my name, but I'm thinking about switching it up to 1Noteworthy. I thought Lily popped in my head. And I just thought that would roll off the tongue a little bit better, so that's what we're gonna be doing. By the way, this is gonna be a lengthy process because obviously, if you've ever baked, it takes a lot of crap and a lot of time. You got a lot of ingredients, and there's a whole cleaning crap and blah 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 blah. Famous Alex. Well, my name is Alexander. Hopefully you're fine with either one because I think either one's fine. It's cool that we have 2 Alexes though. That's just funny. But yeah, as you can see, the first thing that we're gonna be making off for this first episode, very special, is one of my new personal favorites, red velvet cake. Now, if you've never had red velvet cake, you're missing out. But yeah, also this is not gonna be just any ordinary red velvet cake, okay? Because hold on, let me take these off. I'm gonna show off all my utensils and everything real quick, but this is, like I said, this is not gonna be some normal bitch cake, okay? This is gonna be a boss of a cake. Because as you can see, we got 1 cake pan, right? At least that's what it looks like. Then you take the top off and you got 2 of these hoes. That's why we are making a layered cake. I've been wanting to do this for a while now because honestly, it just seems like a lot of fun to do a layered cake. I've made cakes before, I made cupcakes. I want a real challenge. Which is why next week we're gonna be going through the pyramid. Okay. But next week I'm hoping to try something a little bit more tougher. But yeah. So I mean, obviously, there's not really much else to say. By the way, during the process of baking and when we had to like wait for time for like the cake to heat up and everything, I'm just gonna be taking that time to like talk about random stuff. A couple things that I really wanted to talk about is just a show I've been watching. I'm gonna review that later on, and then I also want to talk about Silent Hill F. I just recently finished watching like a full playthrough of Silent Hill F, and the only thing I watched after that was like the endings. Because if you don't know about Silent Hill F, spoilers ahead, but it has multiple different endings. There's 5 endings in total, and that's something that I was really interested about, and that's something that game has just really ignited another interest in it. Because I'll get into that whole little bit later, but yeah. But to start off, obviously we gotta follow the instructions on the back of the cake. So honestly, I got the water and everything. I got the water, I got the oil, but I already have them filled out. This is more just for show about like all the stuff you need. Because for the instructions and the ingredients you're gonna need 1 cup of water, half cup of vegetable oil, and 3 eggs, which I have right here. Also, it says to preheat the oven to 350. I did not do that, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Also, if I'm off to the side doing something, that's because I literally have my iPad set up. There's nothing else I can really do about that. So, we're just gonna have to suck it up. Anyways, let's go. Anyways, to start off, let's just go ahead and follow these instructions. I did miss something though. This is why you want to make sure you have everything out. I didn't label all of it, so I took all of it out, so I could have everything prepared, but I clearly missed something. If you don't know what that is, wait, no, I didn't miss anything. No, I'm the greatest motherfucker of all time. It said like grease the pans that you're gonna be using, but I already have them. I don't plan on greasing them until like at least a little bit later. So we're just gonna leave that for now. Okay, we're gonna leave that for now. Also, let me know if I should buy like some kind of chef clothing or something like that. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Anyways, enough of that. It's time to get into the real business of it. So let's go ahead and open this baby up, just like that. And then usually you could use like a knife or scissors to like open it, but you can always go ahead and open like for medieval times. Hold on, I'm pretty sure these expensive. There we go. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to open all of this up right here. Just like very big. Okay? Not the best, but you know, it is what it is. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and just put this down. Freaking stand up. We're gonna go ahead and dump all the powder in already. Just get the cake mix in there, and then we're gonna follow it up with the water and then the eggs. Honestly, you could really do it in any other way as long as you put the batter first. You gotta put the mix in there, otherwise if you just have it like water, eggs, or whatever, and then like you have the mix, it's just not gonna come out well. More than likely, it's gonna actually screw it up a little bit more because it shouldn't be on top. You have to mix it in with all of it. So, at least that's how I think of it. I'm pretty sure you screwed up, but it is what it is. Speaking of which, I'm going to move these off to the side. Like I said, these are just for show. Now we got the water, we got the oil, and then we got the eggs right here. So let's go ahead. This is the water, 1 cup of water. Here we go. The water is completed. Now we got the half cup of vegetable oil or canola oil. Honestly, any oil, I don't want to say any oil works, but usually I just use like the canola oil because that's the one we usually have on most. Let's go ahead and make sure you drop all of that in there. And then when we got this, we gotta put them off to the side because we no longer need that, okay? I could have sworn I had a towel next to me. I do. So let's go. Hey Rip Demon, hope you're having a great day or a great night depending on where you are. Today, as you can see, we are making a red velvet cake. So hope you guys are ready to freaking cook. Well, I'm doing the cooking, you're watching. Anyways. Alright, so now that we got the oil, we got the water, now it's time to do the eggs. Now, if you don't know the art of delicate egg cracking, I'm going to show you how to do it right now like a boss. Ready? Look at that. Nice, pristine, and that actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. So let's go ahead and take this. Let's open it up back here. Let's grab another one. That's 1 egg down. 2 more to go. You can do a nice little 2-tap right there. There we go. And then we got 1 more egg. That went away. Also, I'm not really planning on washing this one, so I think I can just put it back. Unless you can if you want to, but for me personally, I just put the eggs in there for storage, and I'm not really touching it with my dirty hands. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave like that. All right, ready? Last egg. Here we go. That was terrible. Okay, there we go. All right, last egg is officially in. Now that we are done with all the ingredients, I think we all know what comes next, but give me 1 second. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Personally, I'm pretty sure you could just wipe your hands off, so I'd rather just wash my hands. Feel icky after, in my opinion. But here's the run, Also, I realized no one cleaned up from dinner last night, so we're kind of screwed on that, but we'll make it work. Not really. It's not like taking up too much space, so. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now that we got all the ingredients in this bowl right here, I'm not gonna try to like spill it out, but hopefully you guys can see it. Hopefully. But yeah, now that we got all the ingredients in here, what we gotta do now is grab a whisk, or you could grab a mechanical one. We do have a mechanical one, but for this first time, I think it'd just be best if I actually just did hand mix. So let's go ahead and do it. You want to do it for at least 2 minutes. So it's 11:20 right now. So by 11:22, we should have the batter all mixed and nice. Now, when you're mixing, you really want to get in there so that way you get like a bunch of the chunks and that's just like, it's like nothing but smoothness, you know. You want to keep the consistency nice and clean. You want to keep it all nice. Honestly, there's not really much else to say. You just gotta make sure you get all these little chunks. And yeah. By the way, if you're wondering, what's it called? This is gonna be one of those times where I'm gonna start like talking a little about random stuff. In which case, the first thing I wanted to talk about was like The Walking Dead. Now, a while ago, at least a month and a half ago, me and my mom had started watching The Walking Dead. Mostly because I was actually considering watching it myself. I was needing a new show at the time to like really get into and just watch. And then I told my mom about it, and then she was like, "Oh, you want to watch it together?" I'm like, "Sure." And so for the past month and a half, at least, from my memory, we have been watching it. We're all the way up to season 10 now. Season 10, we're about episode 11, so 10 or 11. So we're close to getting to the end because there's 22 episodes in that season alone. And I just gotta say, that season, so far this season is just so, it feels so, I don't, what's the word for it? I don't want to say discontinued, but it just feels so off. It feels so weird, so off and everything. Because for me, like, all the characters are just being so dumb. Like, spoilers ahead if you haven't seen The Walking Dead, or if you don't know what I'm going to be talking about, you know, spoilers ahead, or sorry if you're not going to be understanding it. But, like, a lot of this season especially, like, there's so many people who are dealing with trauma, and they're not even doing anything about it. Like, they're just pushing it down and everything. And let me tell you, as a person who is studying psychology and planning on becoming a therapist, that is this, and also with common sense, that is the stupidest thing you could possibly do. Push it, repress it. I mean, like, if you are feeling, or like, what's it called? Like, there's one character named Sadiq in The Walking Dead. He literally is suffering from PTSD because of the fact that he saw a lot of his friends die. He saw them get decapitated, and all he could do was just sit there and watch. Obviously, that's going to be very ingrained in your head, and it makes sense why it would be. But then he just spends like the most of the season like just complaining about it. He doesn't even complain about it. That's the thing. He just like internalizes it, and it screws him up, and it screws a lot of other things up. And honestly, it just becomes a big. It's just so annoying, honestly. And then like with Carol as well, she also is very annoying because of the fact that she's just doing so many. She's going down such the self-destructive routes. It's really hard for me to enjoy her presence in this season because of how stupid she is. Hey Marvy, hope you're having a good time at the airport. I'm assuming that's a plane that you typed in, so yeah. But that's cool, yeah. All right, now that we actually went over a little bit, but hey, just what it is. If you need to go over just to get the consistency right, then that's fine. Honestly, there's no right or wrong when it comes to this stuff. It's recommended for 2 minutes because, you know, you want to get like, what's it called? But as long as you get the consistency all nice and everything, it really doesn't matter. All right, there we go. All right, so far, I think this does look pretty good right here. So I'm going to try to tilt it. Actually, I'm going to go a little closer. All right, not going to give you guys a money shot yet, but yeah. This is what you kind of want to go for. It looks all nice. It looks all clean and red. That is something you really want to get. And perfect timing. The thing is now finally done. So let's just go ahead and put this out to the side. And I believe what comes next is pour into the pan. Yeah. Now I forgot the actual size of what these pans are. So I don't know. You can really do this with any pan, even with cupcake pan. It really does not matter. So we're just gonna go ahead and put that off to the side though. We're gonna take this, and then we are going to go ahead and spray it. I think there's a bunch of other ways you can like grease up the pan, but for me, I usually just like to go the typical route, which is just spraying. So yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead, spray it all around. By the way, it doesn't matter if you like go too overboard, it'll counteract it. Nothing will get too affected too badly, so at least from my experience, nothing really bad has ever happened from like going over. If anything, I definitely would argue that I would definitely argue that you should actually try going for a lot of it, or like trying to just get the whole pan covered. Because in my experience, if you miss a couple spots, it actually ends up being a pretty big disaster in terms of like what's the word I'm looking for? In terms of your cake getting like stuck to the pan itself, and then it just becomes a whole mess. Especially when you're done with the cake and then you have to clean it after, it just becomes a. Alright, but here's what we're gonna do next. We're just gonna go ahead. Now that we've finished greasing the pans, all we gotta do is just pour the nice batter in. So here we go. Just start pouring that baby all the way in. By the way, I cannot, hold on, I'm gonna finish putting that part in. Alright, now I wanna tell you guys something, and I wanna stress this. Don't ever try doing this with more than one cake mix. Because if you do it with more than one cake mix, I mean, it's just imagine a cake stacked on top of another cake. Like you want to do it with one batter alone, with one mixing alone. Also, you gotta try to like measure out the size of it because right now I'm just like winging it. So right now we're just gonna go ahead. I think I put enough in that, the left one. So let's go with the righty over here and just start pouring it out. Also, I think it's a little bit fine if it's just like a little mismatched. But like it seems like there's not enough in one side. At the end of the day, you're still gonna eat it because it's cake. Oh well, it's like, guys, it's not coming out. Now, obviously, you could use like a spoon or thing, and I do have a spoon on standby, but there's not too much left, so I'm just gonna use the whisk just to grab the last bits out. And it actually is looking pretty good right now. And I would say, okay, yeah, this one definitely, the one on the left definitely has a little bit more, but like I said, it's just not gonna really matter that much. So go ahead, put this away. Now I'm actually gonna grab the spoon, and then I'm just gonna like, just try to grab like a little bit more. Just try to like even it out a little bit. Obviously, you could just leave it as is, but for me personally, I just want to like get as much of it as possible. Try to even it out and make up the mistake I did. Also, I just want to say it's really good to be back to streaming again. I was thinking about streaming yesterday, but then I just didn't. Oh well. There was just so much time going by and everything, and I just thought that there's going to be a lot of different factors, which did come into play, but ultimately I decided to work on this, like the actual artwork. Like, if you see the thumbnail, then you'll see that artwork, and that is designed by yours truly. I've been making my own art for a little bit while. Oh yeah, by the way, we can finally put this away. We are done with that side, so now we are officially moving on with the cake pans. I'm just trying to lift them up a little. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, so far it's looking really good. Also, I just realized I was supposed to go back to Florida and they sent me back to San Francisco. Dang. Are you flying? What are you flying? I feel like that really depends on who you're flying with too. Because a lot of the times it's like you gotta choose a good airport, you know? Alright, but anyways, enough of that. Now I believe we just put them in the pan. I know I've been cooking long enough to know, baking long enough to know most of this, but that's just nice to have a little reference to you. That's why you should never throw it away. You never know when you're gonna need it. Bake up, blah blah blah. Bake started. Oh yeah. Then all we're going to go ahead and do now is just open the oven up, put these cakes in, and then yeah. Which I'm actually going to try. And yeah. Alright, ready? We're gonna go on a little adventure right here. Hope you guys like hope you guys like that little trip you had. Anyways, here we go. Gonna take this cake pan. Alright, so here we got the two cake pans. We're gonna put them both on the same tile. Just slide them in. And then it says to, I think it says to bake for 10 minutes. Base directed and char until toothpick is inserted. Clean, cool for 10 minutes. Okay, so it says wait until minutes until it's like blah blah blah. Well, aside from that, I have to go soon. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your trip. Also, I gotta fix the camera. I realized. Let's try moving it back. Alright, now we should be good. Let's see how that looks camera-wise. Because it looks pretty good so far. Also, I just realized I did miss a couple tools, but you know, they're within grab's reach, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see how the camera looks though. Also, we're gonna be, if you don't know how big your cake pan is or anything like that, just go ahead and give it like 20 minutes or something. That's what I'm gonna do. I put it in at 11:30, so we're just gonna go ahead and go at 11:50. We're gonna check on it. I don't have any toothpicks available. I used them out a long time ago, so just grab a fork or at least like a knife and then just like stick it in there after like 20 minutes. See, if it comes out clean, that's how you know it's good. But if it doesn't and there's like a little bit of cake crumbs left, then you should just let it keep cooking for another bit. Wait for it to get all the way until it's just completely clean. In which case, I'm finally done with that, and I no longer need this. So here we're gonna go all the way over here and do something with it. I'm just gonna put it on this. I'm just gonna put it here. Don't fall. Alright. So like I said, this is gonna be one of those what's it called? Okay. It's gonna be one of those short stints where we're gonna be waiting. And this is one of those times where I really wish we had a stool chairs. Hold on, I wanna see how this works. What the frick is that? Oh, that's oil. Give me 1 second. This mess. Actually, just okay, it doesn't look too bad. It just makes me look shorter than I already am, though, so that's something. Alright, here we go. Might as well just clean all of it. You never know if you made another spill or something like that. Actually, while I'm at it, should I go about this? But you can cook it for 20 minutes. It depends on the size of. It depends on the size of the pan, and also like. It really depends on the pan itself. But for me, I usually just let it cook for about 20-25 minutes, depending on what the cake mix actually is, and then I just check and then just do that. Although I'm a greedy sucker, so I usually just try to speed it up. But yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna be going into that. What's it called? And I think during this time we're actually gonna go ahead and be cleaning up some dishes because this is it. I won't clean up last night, so it's something now. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it really depends on like a lot of different factors, the pan and then the cake mix you're using itself. So yeah. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and try to put that over here. So that way, what's it called? So let's go ahead and move this. That should be good. I like cheeseburgers. I mean, unless you're lactose intolerant, who doesn't like cheeseburgers? You know what I mean? By the way, I'm also using my little phone and my little phone stand right here, so that way I can like check on like how everything looks and how it seems to be going. Also, I know parents probably wouldn't be excited about me showing this off, but for me, I am glad to be showing this off because this kitchen is so nice. I mean, we live in like a small community where it's like, what's the word? Homeowners Association. HOA. I think that's what it's called. Homeowners Association of something. I don't freaking know. I know we live in a homeowners association though, so it's very hoity-toity and everything. So all the houses are, I'm assuming it look relatively nice like this. So yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. I think you could put them in the dishwasher, but I wouldn't really want the background noise when I'm talking about like stuff. So I feel like this would be a little bit better. Yeah, time to get back into what I was talking about before with the Walking Dead and everything. So switching gears to Walking Dead. Like I said, the season alone is just like so. I don't know. I forgot what the word is, but it just feels off overall. Because like all the characters just seem to be making the most stupid and dumb decisions possible, and then like Alpha herself is just so annoying. I'm not even like am I pissed at her? Not really. It's like a minimal piss level, you know. She's like I don't know how to describe her. She's just not like even Gareth from Terminus. I found more menacing than her. Like, I don't know, man. The Whisperers just feel like such weak villains, and honestly, it's kind of annoying. Because, like, these people actually have they have an interesting premise. But at the same time, it's so weird because of the fact that there's so much different continuity issues that go on with it, and it makes it really hard to, like, really get into it, I guess. Like, it just really makes it hard to, like, really get back into it. Because, first of all, the walkers and them being able to control the Whisperers is so weird to me. Because they're like, I guess I kind of get what they're going for. Like, if you whisper, then you can like direct the horde because they hear a sound that's not from them. They hear actual people. But at the same time, like, if you did like, you freaking moved the wrong muscle if you were in a horde and doing that guts trick, more than likely you would be screwed. And we saw that with Gabriel and Negan. Literally in that one, literally in the previous season, Gabriel did like a slight wrong move, and then the walkers were just on their butt. And then what's it called? So that's a whole different thing. And then honestly, the only people that I find menacing are like Beta, and that really is. And then once again, I just find a lot of the characters and like a lot of the decisions they make so weird, and it's so confusing to me. Do you know the latest production? I do not know the latest production because I do not know anything about planes or aeroplanes. And then going back to the characters, I already talked a little bit about Sadiq and Carol. I hate the fact that they're doing this whole what's it called, like Carol being wholly just self-destructive and is willing to kill herself as long as it meant to get to Alpha. It's just so dumb. Because like, what's the point of getting? That's something I really don't care about. No, you don't have to be sorry, man. I'm just not that big into like airplanes or anything like that. Yeah, it's like one of the biggest things I really hate about it is like how the characters are just keeping their feelings in and everything. Maybe it's because I'm studying psychology and everything, but yeah, it just pisses me off that people are just being so dumb. Like with Sadiq, he doesn't talk about his PTSD, and that's what his downfall is. And then another thing, like his death, just like whole death, it just pisses me off. Because the man telegraphed basically everything he was gonna do. And then, of course, Dante would notice because he notices someone shifting their arms to a weapon. Like, bro, you could have done this a little bit better. And then, honestly, another thing about it is that, like, why didn't they just use Lydia? And that, she's a whole nother character that I would love to rant on because she's also very annoying. Although I will say that Negan is slowly but surely becoming a little pretty likable. I understand why people like him, but yeah. Also, I remember someone asked the question of like who would win, the Whisperers or the Saviors. And I'm telling you right now, Prime Saviors Day, or like Primetime Saviors, man, it's no question it's gonna be them. They got resources, they got fighters, they literally had a whole outpost and a whole like mini army, bro. Like they were moving different. And compared to the Whisperers, they taken down hordes before, I guarantee it. So it's not like it's gonna be that much of a problem to take down people who are just in a mass, who are just shooting. Cause like man, you show Like, man, you take away a horde from a whisperer, and what do they have? Literally nothing but a knife. And they're not going to be menacing whatsoever. So what you're saying about Dante, I mean, like, hold on. So what you're saying is about Dante, I mean, like, can you get that can you show that you can mess with it? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, the grammar's kind of throwing me off. I'm not sure if I'm reading that correctly. So what you're saying is about Dante, I mean, like, show that you can mess with her and get mad. What I'm saying about Dante is, like, I'm not expecting them to notice off rip. Like, they were surprised, and it makes complete sense why. The dude literally just came in out of nowhere, like, acting like a survivor and everything. So it's not impossible. And I get, like, the whole strategic thing. I do. But I'm saying the way that Sadiq died was stupid because he telegraphed his death. And then obviously it worked out for Alpha and everything because he was a nobody essentially. Which means I'm assuming he was probably like the Omega of the pack. No one knew anything about him. Except for the Alpha. Because I feel like the Alphas keep track of the Omegas even if they are like the outcasts of the pack, you know? But yeah. Now switching gears to Carol, I just gotta say, she, like I said, honestly, there's not really much to say now that I think about it. I mean, she's going down such self-destructive routes to where it literally does not matter. She does not matter. She does not think about if it will have repercussions on her. She just wants to kill her so bad because she killed Henry. And I get it, okay? I'm not going to say the loss of a child is easy. But I'm telling you right now, if you are risking everything just to kill yourself as well as killing them, then what exactly is the purpose of killing them at all? Yeah, you get done, but at the same time, you're getting yourself. Is that really what you think your son or kid would want for you? And then, like, she gets Connie and Magna trapped in the cave, and then, like, she's just on this whole thing. And then she doesn't even know about Ezekiel. Like, I mean, Ezekiel, I can't blame too hard. Because at the end of the day, cancer, there's not really much you can do, especially with what they're working on. It's only so much they can really do. Also, I've been looking at my phone thinking I'm streaming today. Gonna do a couple more of these dishes, then I'm just gonna go ahead and just start drying them. Because there's not too much space where I can really work with no more. So just go ahead and do that. And then, like I said, for the rest of the season, it's just, I don't know, man, it just feels so weird connected from, like, how we went to, you know? And honestly, I would love to see how Rick would have handled these people. Because I know in the comics he's still around for that era. But I have no idea. Because I'm pretty sure the Whisperers were in the comics, right? Correct me if I am wrong. Yeah, I would love to see how Rick would have handled them. Because after that, because I guarantee after the heads on spike traps, he would have been moving. He probably would have done the same thing with Negan. If anything, he probably asked Negan for help. Or maybe he would have sent him over as a spy and used him. So that way he could gain points for Alexandria and whatnot. And then Carl too, he would obviously be great to see. But it is what it is, you know. This is the only time I'm at the airport right now, but it's so dark outside. It's just the airport spot. So is it nighttime over there? Wait, in California, right? So it's probably like at least early morning. Is it? I don't know how the time zones work and everything, but it's confusing me. Alright, so just gonna stop there. We're gonna go ahead and... Okay, so it is early morning, okay. That makes sense, because I was about to say, if it's nighttime, then that's crazy. I thought you were in California, not Japan right now. Honestly, if I will say anything about baking, it's cleaning the dishes that's the most boring part. I think later on I'll just use the dishwasher if there's ever this many dishes again. Oh, like I said, the only reason I'm doing this is because no one cleaned up after dinner last night, so not really much I can do. But yeah, after what's it called? One thing I did forget to say is that after I'm done watching the OG series of Walking Dead, uh, I don't know if we agreed on it or not, but I think me and my mom were just, uh, I think we might watch Rick and Michonne's show, The Ones Who Live. But I don't know, man. Man, I'm sleepy and hungry. Man, I've been on a plane before, but it was like one of those charter planes. I think that's what they're called. Like they're just like planes for personal use or just for like flying around for crops or something like that. I've only been on those types of planes, but I'll tell you right now, it is something. I've never, but if I had to wait at an airport, bro, I would be so pissed. Especially if you're making like such long trips too. Ugh. Man, see, my rule of thumb is I'm old enough to. Not old. What am I old enough for? I'm old enough for a lot of things. But yeah, see, I can probably. Nah, probably not. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I think at the end of the day, if I ever had to like go on a plane, I really hope that I would be able to just have like a decent first experience. Cause I don't know, man. It just seems so. Like every time I hear like stories about planes and everything, like the wait times and then like how much of a freaking carnival it is, like I just don't think like it's worth it. Like depending on how like far the destination is, if it looks like plane would be easier, then I guess I'll go through that effort. But if it seems like it won't be like too far away, or like at least like a couple days drive or something like that, then yeah, more than likely I'm gonna do driving because it might be more of a hassle on me and the people I'm traveling with. But at least I don't have to go on a freaking plane where I probably have to deal with an even bigger hassle. At least if it's like extreme long distances, you can get over the hassle within a while and then go on your trip. Play this place already at 80 miles an hour. Man, it's crazy. Alright, it's almost. Oh. Didn't seem so full. There we go. Alright, 11:47, so that means we got 3 minutes left, and then I will check on the cake, see how they are doing, and I just realized this is still pretty dirty. Okay. I will never ever on the slowest plane ever again. Fair enough. Yeah. Anyways, that's about it for The Walking Dead. I still think it is a great show up until this point, but honestly, I can see why people say The Walking Dead fell off because season 10 is something. Okay, season 9 I feel like was the last, so far the last good season. Like I will say for the new group that joined, like Magna and Connie and all of them, Connie is definitely the best character out of all of them. I'd say Luke is a solid second. And then Yumiko, and then Magna, and then Kelly. For me personally, I just don't care for Kelly, man. I just find her annoying and childish. And then like for a lot of the other characters, Daryl's still pretty much the same. He's he's a little bit more of like a leader and like more involved with the community now, which is good. Carol, she took a pretty big nosedive in terms of likability because of how stupid and reckless she's been acting. So yeah, there's that. Then there's I think Michonne did a lot better now. Make sure it's easy, please. Michonne definitely is doing a lot better now because ever since she actually realized that what she was doing was stupid, she's good. Although I do remember that she's gonna be leaving in the season. I don't know what episode that's gonna be, but I'm just prepared for it. And then another thing is like I understand why once again, spoilers ahead if you haven't watched or seen it or anything like that. I understand why people would not want to, what's it called? I understand why people would not want to, no. What am I trying to say? I would understand if people, or if Michonne wanted to go out there to try to find Rick after finding that clue. But it's like, you have children. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't an easy decision, but good lord, man. You're really choosing your husband over children? I mean, I get it, like I said. But, like, come on. Obviously, for me personally, I would say with my children. If anything, I'd actually bring them along. So, there's that for me, at least. Will I have to go? I will have to go soon. Okay. Do you usually take naps on the plane, or is it just like something you just stay up for most of the time? Depending on how long the flight is, I probably just try sleeping. I'm not gonna say I got like motion sickness, but like there are times where I like go on my electronic if I'm like on a long trip, like on my phone or something like that, and then I just get sick. Like the most I could do is probably listen to music. It's very rare because I haven't been traveling that much. I don't remember the last time I even traveled to. But then it's just so weird, in my opinion. Sorry if it's loud, I'm rearranging some stuff. Alright, so that was that. It is 11:51, which means now it is time to check out the cakes. Let's go ahead and grab this. Let's grab our testing fork. Let's go on another ride. I gotta try to keep it over here. I don't want to give too much of the house away. Alright, now what we need is some gloves, and I forgot where we put those. Not in there. Just 1 second. Where are the gloves? Where are the gloves? I can't find them. Freaking out! Oh my lord! Okay, there's no time for that. Seriously, where are the gloves? Okay, so change the plans. We're gonna grab it with our bare hands. Okay. What I'm gonna do is just grab something. You know what? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try looking one last time. Alright, so we're gonna use this cloth to check on it. Actually, I don't even need the cloth. Why am I doing this? Like, I need to take it out. This whole time. Alright, let's just check it. Alright. Okay, now, I just poked it. So if you look right here and you see nothing, then that's good. I do see a little bit of speck, but that's because I'm assuming it's just from insertion. That's from the cake on the left. Let's go ahead and go check the cake on the right. A little bit of crumbs, but honestly, you can check right here. I don't really know what I'm doing. It's not like you guys can really see the specs. But regardless, both cakes seem to be ready, so let's go ahead and actually grab this. Hold on. Where'd you get that button? Alright, so let's go. Actually, let's go ahead and turn it off too, just in case. Turn that off. Cake is done. Alright. Be careful. Be careful, be fast. Just like that. Alright. Well, look at that. Hello, Dolly. As you can see, both cakes look extremely well. Just go ahead and take this. Bam. Yeah, both cakes are looking really good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Both cakes are looking insanely great. So now we're just gonna wait for them to cool down. It's usually gonna be about 10 minutes or something. So yeah, worst case, I'm just gonna go over here. Place this back in my little spot. Hey guys. I'll just give it out like a quick rinse. I feel like a child, man. Hold on. Let's see how this is going. Cakes are good. 157. Probably got a lot low. 56. Alright. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna give my spoiled sister something. Alright. Well, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it is almost 12, and I'm getting pretty hungry, so I'm just gonna order some DoorDash real quick. Go. So why is... Okay, so it's acting like there is a delay. There is one. Fix it. Okay, let's do this. I gotta get rid of that. But I'm not gonna lie, I already have my order to go, like, on standby. Let's do, okay. I don't know about you guys, but this is what I'm gonna be getting. Looking pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Continue. Front door, blah, blah. Express. I swear I've gotten that. Why am I gonna pay $4? Frick, $4, my nuts. Okay, yeah, now that's more reasonable. Actually, I'm just gonna go $2. Okay, there we go. That's still a pretty good tip for what I'm ordering too. Standard is 21 minutes? I'll be starving by then. Frick me. Well, I got some chips, but I don't want the chips. Also, yeah, it's never really taken this long. Now that I think about it, I probably should have ordered this like well before. Oh well. Alright. So in the meantime, as we're gonna be waiting, I just want to talk about a few things. Okay, one thing I was gonna talk about was Silent Hill. You know what? So I'm not using that anymore. Also, I need to get something else out. That's for the cake and ice, and so I gotta deal with that real quick. There we go. I mean, it feels like it kind of helps. I ain't gonna lie. Alright. But yeah. Now, I don't know if you guys, once again, spoilers ahead if you have not seen, played, or witnessed anything about Silent Hill F. So, spoilers ahead, sorry. But actually, I'll even put that in the chat. Hill. Alright, like I said earlier about it, Silent Hill F is it's not, I was about to say offshoot, it's not an offshoot, it's a spin-off of the original Silent Hill games if you didn't know that already. And it takes place in 1960s Japan, somewhere around like the rural areas. And there's this, the main girl you play as is Hinako Shimizu. Now, she's the one who starts witnessing all the stuff that's going on, but she's not alone. There's 3 other people at the beginning, then it'll transition to 2, but that's a whole different thing that involves the story. But basically, what it comes down to is sorry about that. But basically, what it comes down to is if you know anything about the original Silent Hill or anything about its predecessors, Silent Hill is basically like your own personal purgatory. Is the best way of putting it. Because I know in the original game it's like an actual place, but like Silent Hill is basically an amalgamation of like all your fears and everything that coalesced into reality, and they are now sticking upon this town. Now, what happens in Silent Hill F is actually really interesting, and I hope I can explain it well. If not, I forgot what this YouTuber's name is, but his name was like Walt Dam or something, and he explained what's it called? He explained the 5 endings. I think I saw it. I think I saw he where he explains the 5 endings, but he also explains like what's going on in the story itself in like the beginning part. So go ahead and check him out. I do recommend it. It's short, it's easy, it's straight to the point. It's only like 12 minutes. It gets through pretty easily. So yeah, what it essentially goes to is that Shimizu is in an arranged marriage, but we don't get to know that. So basically, she's in an arranged marriage, and the whole thing about it is that she does not want to be a part of it because of the fact that back then, especially in 1960s, not Germany, 1960s Japan, and honestly, just more likely around like the whole world, there was a lot of like oppression of women, especially because they had to fit into these certain ideologies that were made. Uh, yeah, basically just forced into a certain ideology where they like had to basically just listen to the man and everything, like basically just all that sexist crap. If you don't know anything about it, then honestly just go ahead. If I'm talking about like the Silent Hill aspect, if you don't know anything about sexism, then go watch a documentary or go back to school. I mean, that's really the best I could say for it. But yeah, what it really boils down to is she does not want to be a part of it because of the fact that once she does, it's basically like, especially back then, you're losing your autonomy, your identity. You have nothing of that left once you become once you become married and like you're with your partner and everything. Basically, everything you were is now gone, essentially. And I should put that in air quotes because like obviously like still part of you, but like it's like very oppressive to the women in general. So Hinako does not want to be a part of that because she does not want to lose her identity. She does not want to end up like her mother, who is basically like backing up her abusive father, like just very submissive, just very what's the word? Very domicile when it comes to the father. And obviously the father is a huge dick, not only because he was raised and taught to believe that, and also the fact that he's an abuser, but also there's also another aspect where he actually lost the family's money and he has to force Hinako into a family. He has to force Hinako into an arranged marriage so that way they could pay off the family's debt. And then, obviously that's the whole thing because Hinako doesn't want to get married. Hinako doesn't actually dislike the idea of marriage or anything like that. What she dislikes is the fact that she's going to be losing her autonomy. She doesn't want that for herself because losing just ask anyone, would you like the idea of your life being chosen from you? You have no choice or any, you get to make your own personal choices even if they are mistakes. Like she does not want that forced upon her. She wants to do what she wants to. So that's where like it really becomes like ahead of it. And it's funny enough because once you get like far enough in the game, it actually recalls a scene. You actually get to see your parents in that scene, and it's a complete like reenactment of what we saw in the earlier scene. Except we actually get to see everything that goes on with it. So one thing that I really loved about the game is the fact that it's so like it doesn't hit you until like you are really far into it, and there's every little aspect about it is just insane. Like there's a lot of different things to talk about, but one thing I want to talk about are the suitors, and another thing I want to talk about are the monsters that you fighting in the game. Because between the suitors, let's start off with that. When it comes down to the suitors, it really is interesting because there's two suitors or two people, two men that are really like impactful on Hinako. One being her suitor, like her actual like person she's being arranged marriage with, and then the second one being her childhood best friend Shu. I forgot. I remembered his name was actually revealed, but he was basically in the dream world. There's like a whole thing where you go to the dream world, and that's where we see like this suitor from the arranged marriage, because this suitor and his family are actually from an ancient line of like fox spirits or something like that, like fox spirit gods, and basically she is what's it called? Basically, she's like destined for it. Like I said, there's so much that goes into it, and I'm just talking about the parts that I want to talk about or something that I found very interesting. So yeah, that's what it really essentially. Also, I might be screwing up or missing some details. So like I said, go watch videos on it. Walt Dam, I think is his name. He explains it very well. He gets to the story, he gets to the endings, and explains very well. But yeah, so now we get to see this crap where it's like all going on and everything, and it's crazy because it's just I don't know how to describe it. Like, how do I describe it? Basically, like the suitor is like he's he's nice. I put it air quotes because it's kind of complicated. He's a nice guy, but he's also like influencing her and like making her like he's basically like trying to take control of her. He's being pretty manipulative and everything like that. So obviously he's what's it called? Because he wants her to be his. And throughout like the whole sequence, every time you're with him, he's always talking about like how you are his, and like he's being very personal, he's being very close, but it's all very manipulative to her, so that way she would choose him quote unquote willingly, and that is an easier choice for her in the long run to end up with the suitor, not only because he wants her, but because of the fact that she is destined to be born destined to be a part of that ancient line of fox gods or fox spirits or something like that. The Kitsune, I think is what they were called. And then on the other side, you have the best friend, Shu, from childhood. What's it called? Now, Shu is a very interesting case that I actually really like. Because, like I said, for the most part, once you get deeper into the game, you'll realize, even deeper into the game, actually, like you'll see that Shu is actually more of a stand-up person, and like he doesn't really care about all this other stuff. He likes Hinako because he just is in love with her after all the experience and all the grown up together and everything like that. It makes sense. But one thing that I really love about this is there's like little notes, and especially once you get to the later games and like once you get later into the game, then like once you finish it and like really reflect on it and like see all these other theories or whatever, like things discussing it, Shu is a good guy, but what he's doing to Hinako is nothing short of what the Fox Suitor is doing to Hinako too. He's being manipulative. He's being possessive. He wants her to be his. And the way he goes about doing this is prescribing medicine to her. Because in the game, there are these little red capsules where if you take them, they'll actually heal you. It's fast and efficient. There's a lot of them around. And that right there is symbolism, I feel like, that Shu is giving Hinako this because of all like because she's going through like drug abuse and everything. She's going through all this drug abuse. She doesn't want because of the fact that she's dealing with all this like, she doesn't want. She's dealing with these headaches, but she's also like just wants to be numb to the pain and everything. Like I said, there's more to it. Obviously, go check it out. I cannot stress that enough. There's only so much I can say and speak to where it's like will make sense. You need to check out the game. You need to check out deep reviews, the what goes into it and everything. But yeah, and here's the thing: Shu even knows like about that he should not be prescribing Hinako this because I think it's hinted at the fact that he knows that she is actually a drug addict, that she is taking these for So what if I remember correctly, his goal essentially is to damage her enough by giving her these pills that she takes them enough and that she's damaged and that the other people in that arranged marriage don't want her because obviously you don't want your kid or your next of heir marrying someone who seems like trouble. So once they drop that arranged marriage, he could come in and swoop her and take her as his. Once again, she's losing her autonomy because Shu is damaging her and taking away her choice of actually choosing him and actually seeming like the good guy. So you got both sides actually being somewhat pretty interesting, but also pretty bad. I'm not gonna say evil because they're not really evil, but the whole thing about it is the fact that it's just a ripping away. It's like a difference of ripping away Hinako's autonomy, which she hates, and that's like a very big symbolism within the game. Another thing is the monsters. Like once again, going back to the original Silent Hill game, you learn that the monsters and everything are a manifestation of the fears that someone has. So like a lot of like in Silent Hill, the original, you had all these different things like all these manifestations of like things that were actually a fear of bugs, and then there was like these doctors and nurses monsters, and they were the manifestations of the doctors who were like making her sick or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And then there was like another monster where they were just like full grown adults, and that was because of her fear of the adults and their overwhelming power and nature. So in this game, when you see like those dolls and everything, I can't. I know a lot of the monsters. I can't remember their names, especially because they were like Japanese too. But if I remember correctly, the dolls were actually a manifestation of the fear of fitting in for beauty, because obviously beauty standards have been a thing since the dawn of time. I mean, essentially. So with that fear of beauty and the being the mannequin doll, that makes sense, and that's so freaking interesting because obviously dolls, they're supposed to be like perfection and everything. They're supposed to reflect on like how you could look if you wore this or you look like that, blah blah blah. And that already that right there screams so much of how awesome that detail is because the fear of beauty and beauty standards is one thing that I feel like a lot of people can do or a lot of people can fear because of the fact that it's just, especially nowadays in society where people use filters even though it's like fake and everything, people are so, especially women are like so forced into the idea where you have to live up to this certain beauty standard. And that right there, especially in 1960s where everything was even harsher on women in Japan, and probably, like I said, probably all over the world because it was just like that. It was not a great thing to go through. It's not a great thing to really think about. So that's what, like one of the biggest fears. And then another one was actually like the manifestation of like her disgust of. I think it was like this. I don't know if it was like a fear of like the overwhelming power and like overwhelming power of like the ripped status you get as an individual in like marriage. I can't remember what it was, man. But I remember like these big monsters, like big claw monsters. They're like some kind of manifestation of marriage or something like that. So I can't remember that much, but I remember that they were like some kind of manifestation of that level. And honestly, when it comes down to the endings, that's another thing I want to talk about. Like I said, in And I mean, in original Silent Hill, there were at least like 6 endings, 6 different endings. In this game, you get 5 different alternative. You can get 5 different alternative endings. The good, you get the good plus. If I remember correctly, it's the good ending, good slash true ending, the good ending, the bad ending, the very bad ending, and then the UFO ending. I'm not kidding you. There is still a UFO ending. This crap was in Silent Hill original, and I just found that so freaking awesome. But yeah, you get the Silent Hill. What's it called? For the I can't remember what it's called, but like a Fox's Roost or something like that. Like I forgot what the titles are too. Hold on. Can I Google it? I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, I was trying to make sure I could actually see what the. I remember. Yeah, Silent Hill F. Okay, never mind. All Silent Hill F endings. Hopefully that gives me more. Okay, yeah. Here we go. So you get the 5 endings. They go from home to roost. That's the stand. I was gonna say home to roost. That's like the if you finish the game just playing it normally, how you would go about playing it, then more than likely you're gonna get the standard default ending, aka just the normal ending, where it's gonna be, if I remember correctly, it's gonna be you or Hinako going on like a mass murder rampage where she kills her parents, and then she goes on to kill like 2 more people, and she's wearing like a wedding dress, and she's like basically consumed by the anger she was actually fighting against, if that makes sense. And the new game, when you start a new game, there's actually a new game option where you can go like new game plus, where you can actually get another ending involved, where the protagonist confronts her sister. Is that it? Well, I remember. I think it's the same. I think it comes out like a similar outcome. I can't remember what it is, man. Frick. Yeah, it's what the frick? It just says another ending involving the sister. But anyways, there's a good ending where Hinako actually like she takes her autonomy, but like because she decides to stay independent and rejects the arranged marriage. I think that's what the fox what its tail is ending. I believe that's what it is for what's it called? For him, that ending, she rejects her arranged marriage. She keeps her autonomy, but the rest of the town actually gets demolished or something like that. It gets destroyed because of the fact that the fox guardian spirits were actually keeping the town safe, but because of the arranged marriage no longer being going through, they no longer are keeping it safe, meaning the town's going to head. And the fox's wedding, I believe that's the bad. That's one of the bad endings, where I think she loses her autonomy and just like once again I think she loses her autonomy and she goes on that spree. But I cannot remember. I literally watched it yesterday. I hate the fact that I can't remember. Now the fourth ending, which is the true ending, it actually ends with Hinako. I think it ends with Hinako confronting someone, but she also confronts her 2 halves, which she combines into a whole. I think, but like she's able to reject the marriage. Nothing's able to go wrong, and the suitor actually reaches out to her, genuinely in a letter. And then she finally decides that if she is gonna get married, it'll be her choice. That's like the best true ending you could possibly get, which is why it's called that. Basically, she keeps her autonomy. The town is safe. She gets to literally decide whether or not she wants to get married, and overall, it just does end up going really well for her. Now for the now for the fifth ending, the UFO. I don't know how you do it, but you got to do like some. I think you got to get like look at video game posters, like something sci-fi related, and then it ends like in a retro manga style, like a very old storytell rice paper thing, and it's like it's like the kids talking about like everything that's going on is because of aliens. Then I think something happens where like the alien ship is revealed, and then it's like it's like dogs are barking and they're like controlling the ship, and then it just goes off to space. It's so freaking dumb, but that's what's so great. But yeah, those are the 5 endings, and honestly, my personal favorite is the true ending. I mean, the the true endings. I mean, that's literally the best option you can go with. You literally end up being able to keep your autonomy. You get to be yourself. You don't have to be forced into arranged marriage. They're actually reaching out to you genuinely this time. So yeah, once again, that is another. That is this game. I was not expecting much from Silent Hill because I did not get into Silent Hill until like literally earlier, like last month. I want to say actually, because I there's a channel called Dead Meat, and they've been doing Dead Meat kill count games for. They actually just restarted this season. They did it last. They did it last year, I believe. But yeah, and if you don't know anything about Dead Meat or Dead Meat games, highly recommend. They are incredible. I love their kill counts and everything. It's just so ripe with information, and then the kills itself are very entertaining. And then it's basically like just a nice overview of like the movies itself. And honestly, like I said, it's just really great overall. But yeah, when he went into Silent Hill, I dug a little bit deeper into like a little bit of the other games, and then he also like with all the information he talked about, I decided to discover a little bit, and then I actually realized that Silent Hill is a uh, really good and interesting franchise. I haven't explored too much about it yet. Like this is just like this, literally the second thing I've gone into that's related to Silent Hill. Because I watched that kill count, the kill count games involved with that. They gave us the lore and everything, and now we're seeing how Silent Hill F is. I can only imagine how the other games were, but at the end of the day, I generally still feel like Silent Hill F deserves all the praise it gets because I've been seeing a lot of people say good things about it, and it deserves it, no doubt. So for me, even though I have not played it, I've only watched it. I will definitely say and agree with people if they say that Silent Hill F is a great game because visually speaking, it is absolutely stunning, especially with like 1960s. I almost said Edo period Japan. That's not Edo period, I don't think. Pretty sure that was like period before. But yeah, the aesthetic and everything of like rural Japan, like the rice fields, and then like how it's just like laid out and everything, and how everything looks so just genuinely real and authentic. It just looks so incredible. Then when it comes down to, I mean, I just felt like I glazed it enough. The story itself is just so freaking great. So much symbolism. The mechanics and everything, when it comes to like the actual like fighting and the game mechanics, they're actually not bad. It's actually pretty simple for the most part. And then what's it called? It's just so much little details that go into it, and it's make it such a great game. It's just so great. This game, like I said, is truly I just gotta say, I just feel like this game is a masterpiece with how much symbolism it is, how simple it is, but also complex, with the execution being so insanely well. It's, it is a great addition to, as far as I can see, it is a great addition to Silent Hill franchise. But that's about it. We actually waited a little bit longer for it to actually cool down. So let's go ahead and check out the case. I'm gonna test it out with my little finger. Ouchies. Ouchies. I'm just kidding, they're all fine. Yeah, the cakes are looking great as heck, so let's go ahead and grab a thing for it. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. It's not right? No, it's not. Also, while I was talking, I kept noticing that my order kept changing. Like my delivery time for DoorDash kept changing, and I'm pissed. Because originally it was supposed to be here at like 12:30 something. Like 12:21 to like 12:30. Why are you going back, you bitch? Bro, you were literally on the right track. Bro, if it goes till 1 o'clock now, I'm texting her and being like, what the frick? You're picking up the order? You didn't have that, bitch? Bro. By the way, I'm going to rant about this for a little second. This is. Hold on. Skip to live. Not even joking. There have been 2 times where I've already had negative experiences. For the most part, in the last like couple months where I've had it, it's been pretty positive. But there have been 2 times already in like this short span of like a week at least. I ordered like something. I ordered a drink once along with like a couple food items. They forgot the fucking drink. And then I do it again, and then they forget to drink again. And now this time it's taking much longer than it was told to be. Man, like, I just want my food, man. Anyways, but yeah, that's about it. Let's go ahead and grab, what's it called? At least try looking for this, this little thing I'm trying to look for. I don't even know why I thought of it. Oh, here we go. Alright, as you can see, we got the cake carrier now. You don't need this, I just like personally putting it on here. Because, yeah, let's go ahead and grab these cakes. Let's see if they're still hot. Just like the cakes themselves, they are good. Still pretty warm on the bottom, so that's not gonna be really much of a problem, honestly. Yeah, we're still good. Alright, so like I said, we are gonna be making a double layer cake. Now, if you don't know how we're gonna do this, neither am I. We're just gonna be winging it by theory. Alright, so first things first, obviously, we're gonna go ahead and take this cake out. You're gonna use the scraper, like the icing thing, icing wand, whatever you want to call it, okay? Still waiting for my order, those bitches. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna move this because it's not doing anything for me right now. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna flip it. Ready? Okay. Usually you don't want to do that, but I'm gonna be desperate. Okay. Alright. Now, what we're going to be doing... Unless you're wearing gloves, of course. But I'm not, so that's all. Alright, so now we're gonna be taking the cream cheese frosting. Let's get that in view. Taking the cream cheese frosting, take that little hoe. Just like that. Now this is where the fun part comes from. Because now what we're gonna be doing, just grab it. Just grab a nice big old spoonful. Actually, you know what, hold on. Last time I've done this a couple times and I usually kind of screw up. So here's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna grab a little bit. Now it feels pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it feels pretty cool. I checked both of them, they are relatively cool. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do this. And if anything starts like being a drag or something, then I'll just start, what's it called? Okay, yeah. If it starts dragging or it looks like it's starting to like drag a little, then that means it's still not cool enough. So in that case, I'm just gonna be leaving that there and just wait for it to cool a little longer. It's 12:28 right now. We'll give it about another 5 minutes. It really sucks, so I really just want to eat this. Chicken jack. I'm kidding. Okay, finally they got my food. I'm not even gonna blame what's my dasher's name? Did they just say Chick-fil-A? Oh, I thought it said Chick-fil-A discontinued your order. I'm like, what the fuck? I would say take your time, but like I said, I'm starving like a motherfucker, so Cheryl, I need this. I'm kidding. Not that desperate for it. But now I have nothing to do. Let's just go here. Chicken Yoki. Honestly, I don't really have much else to talk about because I already talked about Silent Hill. I already talked about Silent Hill. Already talked about the economy. Actually, since we're doing this, since we're gonna be waiting, I actually want to test something out. Look at that. Okay, yeah. So these cakes actually look relatively normal in size, which is a very good thing for me. Gonna wash my hands real quick. But yeah, the fact that I was able to get them so close in like size, because obviously you don't account for the baking. I thought I would actually put a little more on one side than the other. Like so far, it looks like both of them are actually like pretty equivalent in size. The fact that they are actually does a lot of good for me because if they're both similar in size, the presentation is gonna look a lot better. Because obviously when it's a lot similar looking, it looks a lot better. So really happy with how this is turning out so far. I like the frosting. Honestly, I might just bite the bowl and just stir frosting. Man, it is 12:21. I've been doing this host since 11. I think. How long have I been streaming for? 81 minutes. So that, yeah, like an hour, almost 30. Well, I would start a lot earlier, but my freaking brother was here and I didn't want to cook and stream while he was here. Chicken? Okay. I don't know why I keep saying that. Okay, so what was it? 12:28? 9:30, 31. So we got 2 minutes left. So what else is there to talk about? I was thinking about reacting to something live on stream, but then I was also thinking about just going in with just a Marvel Rivals stream because I was planning on continuing Marvel Rivals journey to get Cloak and Dagger, my first Lord icon, because I'm really close with them. I still have to. By the way, when I play it, I don't play it off stream because I feel like it's a lot better if I have that progression going on when it's live and everything. Because I don't want to be like, oh, by the way, I got it off stream. Because like, what the fuck was the point of it then? But what's it called? I screwed up last week and I didn't even stream once after that because I literally streamed 2 times before and I was able to do both days. But crap just happened and yeah, it just did not go well. But yeah, other than that, by the way, I still have homework to do. I got like two quizzes to do, but they're not gonna be too hard. One of them is literally like 10. It's 10 questions. It's pretty easy. It's just like what class is this one? Our class is like, because it's like energy and environment. So I'm not gonna say it's like a green class, but I'm just what is it for? It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know. I guess it's for like some kind of science class. For some kind of science class, some kind of science credit, blah, 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 etc., etc. But yeah, aside from that, another one is for my main psychology class, so I gotta do that. And it's like blah, blah, blah. And I do gotta do something else, but I'm just gonna say that for like Monday. Because honestly, it's not gonna be too hard or anything. So yeah. That's not, I already have like an outline for it and everything, so it's like not much really hard way to really do. Okay, both cakes feel soft. Actually, I'm gonna give it just a little bit more time. I'm just gonna give it 1 more minute. There we go. That's 1 more minute. Let's do a little bit bigger. Okay, there we kind of go. How are you doing? You know what? Hold on. Wait a minute. Why use that one? I can just use this. 2, 3, 4. So yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna use a cutting board and just do this other cake. See if it's well enough. So actually gonna go ahead and put you up front. Take this cutting board, put it in the back right here. Oh no, I did that. Sometimes you just see an opportunity, you just gotta take it. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. So I'm gonna wash my hands. Got my thing was over here. This is why this is why I usually have a towel slinged over, so that way it's like easy access. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I don't need you. Alright, let's see how we can do with this other cake. Let's see if we are good to go or not yet. So same thing with this one. Now there is a little trick where you can actually put it in the fridge and like it'll help it cool down, like be faster. But I already took it out and I don't want to put it back in. And I really don't want to end the stream because I just want to ice it and then like take a little bite and everything. Honestly, I'm not even seeing room for it. Actually, I might. I'm just gonna go ahead and take. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one, the one I just did. Put it in the freezer for a little bit. Second while, yeah. Sorry. Oh my gosh, no! Oh no! Okay, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. So long story short, I kind of screwed up and now it's looking bad. Frosting's so good though. So when I was trying to put it in, I realized the spaces it's in, I have to like angle it. But then I also realized that with how I'm angling it, it's probably gonna hit the ceiling, and it did. So basically, there's a little bit of a mess in there, where it's like a little bit of the red velvet is like stuck to the ceiling. I'm still gonna eat it. I'm gonna clean it and I'm gonna eat it because I am hungry. Call me hungry Howard because I'm hungry. It's not too big of a mess, thankfully. This is like the final result of it, of the problem. Like I said, I'm gonna eat it, so. Viewers beware. That's pretty good. That is a good cake, though, already. Dang it, I put it away. And just for safe measures, I am going to use one of these wipes. I cleaned it. Now it is officially done. I mean, I guess I just wait until, like, what's it called? In which case, I'm gonna use the bathroom because I've been holding it in for like a while. How's that good? Yeah. It's up. I just got here. My DoorDash is here, so that's it. It feels full to me. You know what? I'm gonna go get my DoorDash and I'm gonna eat a little and then I'm just gonna go. And we're gonna process. Why is it still here? How far my DoorDash go? I'll be right back again. Well, I never do. Hold on. Wait. No, I can just give me some chicken. Yeah. I'll be right back, buddy. So before we get into it, I was gonna ask you guys something. Hold on. Hey, I gotta ask you guys something. So I don't know if you guys have ever ordered DoorDash or something, but I need to ask you guys. I don't know why it took so long. Maybe it's because it's Friday, okay? But for 3 items, I got a vanilla shake, a normal chicken sandwich, and then some nuggies. Why would this take almost an hour for me to get? Like I said, maybe they were busy. But outside of that, I cannot see any other reason. I think it's not even the guy's fault either. It's the fact that he was just not getting on. So honestly, we were really waiting for them, but I'm feeling the cake. It feels like it's finally cool enough. So let's go ahead and do it. Hey, get off my cake. Don't you dare put your freaking flying bud on it. I'm just tearing more skin off. I took this out like 12 o'clock and it's still not freaking cool enough. You know what? This is the first time. If I ever decide to make it again, I'll make sure it's actually perfect. Okay, so let's just take it like this. So anyways, how you want to frost is you want to go just back and forth, all nice like. And then you realize you still made a mistake because now I'm even more skittles on. That's why I'm going to put my thing down. And what's it called? So you know what I'm going to do instead? Instead of keep going on, I'm just going to make a quick short showing how it is. Because I'm done. I just want to eat. I still need to get some homework done. So you know what? We're just going to leave it at that. So hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys did, let me know if you want to see more. But hopefully next time will be better. I thought it definitely was a lot more fun doing it in a live stream, but next time I'm doing a video. It's just so annoying, man. Like if you guys could feel this cake, it is cold. Like I'm not talking about room temperature cold, I'm talking cold. I guess it's still not enough, so. Yeah, man, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna be the end of the stream. I would still say this is pretty successful. But yeah, this is very annoying. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, go ahead, drop a like, drop a sub to your friends. As always, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day, great rest of your night. And like I said, if you're ever making a cake, make sure to follow the instructions and put it in the fridge to cool it down because this is annoying. Anyways, later, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace. Deuces. How do you end this?